Welcome to Black Health, a weekly talk show discussing medical issues afflicting and impacting the Black South Florida community. Now introducing our host, Dr. Michelle Kirwan Bythwood.
Good day, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today, and welcome to Black Health, a platform to discuss illnesses affecting the Black community. I am your host, Dr. Michelle Kirwan Bythwood. I'm a board-certified pediatrician and the Chief Medical Officer at the Pediatric and Family Health and Wellness Center in Miami Gardens, Florida. Today, we are talking about the mental health of our men. And joining us to do so is the one and only Dr. Delvena Thomas.
Hi.
Hi, welcome, Dr. Thomas. Welcome to Black Health. Thank you for coming on today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm going to take a moment to introduce you. Dr. Delvena Thomas is a board-certified psychiatrist. She is a mother, soldier, scientist, and physician, and an ardent champion for sound mental health. She trained in medicine and psychiatry at the University of Maryland in Baltimore. She is board-certified in psychiatry, neurology, and maintains a private practice in psychotherapy, psychopharmacology, and alternative health. She created her own show, Therapy Thursdays, and is the author and producer of her own podcast, the Brain Love Podcast. And you can also find her latest mental health books on Amazon titled Brain Sleep and Brain Food. Dr. Thomas, you're a very busy woman.
Well, yeah, it depends on how you see busy.
I know you also get your R&R in there. I can learn a thing or two from you. So I know you're good about that, about the balance. Today, we are talking about men and whether or not they have any balance, men and their mental health. So let's jump right in. What are some of the unique mental health challenges that men face? And then maybe what Black men face, if that's any different.
Yeah, so men in general face mental health challenges that are unique and different from women, in that men simply are not allowed or not supported or encouraged to express themselves. So, Dr. Curran, imagine not being able to cry when you feel the need to cry. Imagine not being able to complain or, as we call it in mental health, to process a special concern or a challenge that you're experiencing. Men oftentimes are, people want them to be stoic all the time, not express themselves, not complain, not process. And so that in itself can create a lot of pressure for men and can lead to things like sadness that they hold inside and don't share, as well as anxiety and nervousness and sleeping problems. Black men experience this, but even on a much higher level, a much higher scale. Black people in general are seen as being, there's this stereotype, or I guess this fantasy, that Blacks can endure anything, including pain, and you know this too, in medicine, that studies have proven, or research has shown, that our own colleagues believed at some point in time that Black folks could endure more pain than other races. And the same holds true for Black men when it comes to their mental health, that Black men should be strong and not complain and not be vulnerable, not express weakness. And this leads to things like higher cases and episodes of depressive disorders, as well as higher suicide rate. So we've seen recently that suicides in Black men, they are climbing. And a flight attendant came along, another man, a man of the majority, a white man, and said to him, "Do you know where you're sitting? Do you know where your seat is?" And he responded back to him, "My seat is right here underneath this bin." So, it's, for Black men, it's taken personally at times, when it may have seemed like an innocent question of, "Do you know where your seat is?" But would you have asked a person of the majority the same question? Saw him putting his baggage or his luggage in the overhead bin above his first class seat. So it's something that creates stress in our Black men. And the stress is something that can lead to other major medical problems besides the sadness and the anxiety and the health challenges. We know that stress can also lead to elevated blood pressure, uncontrolled blood pressure, elevated blood sugar, increases in cortisol levels, which that increase in cortisol is what creates a whole, myriad of effects in the body physically, and the brain. And I believe that oftentimes Black men have higher rates of things like heart disease and high blood pressure or hypertension because of the stress they're dealing with on a daily basis from racist type situations or discrimination. And
And if you
sorry, I forgot to mention. I'm so sorry, Michelle. I forgot to mention one other thing. The George Floyd incident during the pandemic. That was something that shook a lot of our souls, and it was just an example for the world to see that Black men are persecuted, mistreated at higher rates than any other group in our population. So, these racist, discriminatory acts, they roll over into the court system. We know that our Black men are going to jails and prisons at higher rates than any other population, and they're arrested before they go to jail and prison. They're arrested more than any other population.
Yeah. In the area where I live, the chief of police was brought up on charges because he was pinning crimes on Black youth that would come through the neighborhood just to make his stats look better. And I mean, there are young boys that went to jail and did jail time for that. And imagine the stress, the stress of that. The stress starts from a young age and continues on through our entire life. So it's no wonder that we lead every health disparity that is out there. If there's one thing that I know from doing this Black Health Show, is that everything I talk about, Black people are generally leading that health disparity. Dr. Thomas, we do need to take a quick commercial break. So you are watching Black Health. We are talking about men's mental health with Dr. Delvena Thomas, and we will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
When the last time you had a prostate screening?
I haven't done.
What about colonoscopy?
I've been thinking about it. I know I have to do it.
Come on, man. We can't wait till something happens. We can't wait for nobody to do it for us. We got to do it ourselves.
Yeah, you're right.
So we got to make it a priority, man.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Full checkup once a year, and make sure you ask the doctors to get a PSA. And important, make sure you get that colonoscopy. You're 50 now, man. You got to get that done. Okay.
History? Yeah, we built that. Pride? We fuel that. And on August 30th, we run that. Two powerhouse HBCUs, Howard Bison, FAMU Rattlers, won legendary showdown under the Miami lights at Hard Rock Stadium. The energy unmatched. The culture undeniable. The vibes straight HBCU. Get your crew. You don't want to miss this. Lock in your seats now at orangeblossomclassic.com.
Miami-Dade is filled with dreams, talent, love. At the Children's Trust, we are dedicated to nurturing the potential of every child and family with hundreds of trust-funded programs. Find a program at thechildrenstrust.org.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman & Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family, our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters, because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. Demesman & Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
Are you cleaning the house?
It's time.
What will you do with those?
Dump them?
Oh, no. It's time to detox your home. If you're disposing of home chemicals, hazardous materials, or electronics, collect them in a sturdy box and take them to... Wait, what's that?
It's vintage?
It's coming with us.
Where?
In Miami-Dade, go to one of our home chemical collection centers where friendly staff like Eddie, hey Eddie,
hi,
can help dispose of it for you.
That was easy.
To learn more, go to miamidade.gov/homechemicals.
Get ready to groove at this year's Juneteenth Juke Joint on June 7th at 7:30 p.m. Enjoy live music by the W's, beats by DJ Cardi, visual art, and more. Get your tickets now at archcenter.org.
Help comes in many forms. As a Miami-Dade County bus operator, you can help your community, help those in need, and even help yourself. Operators have the opportunity to earn more than $50,000 a year plus built-in overtime, earn more than 13 paid holidays and vacation days, and take advantage of the tuition reimbursement program. Plus, qualified new drivers will receive a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Become a driving force in our community. Apply now at miamidade.gov/busdriver.
Welcome back. You are watching Black Health. We are talking about men's mental health with Dr. Delvena Thomas. If you have a son, a brother, a father, a grandfather, an uncle, a nephew, please stay tuned to watch today's show. We have such important information that is being given here by Dr. Thomas. So, Dr. Thomas, we were just talking about racism and the effects of that on men's mental health, specifically Black men's mental health. How important is it for men to talk openly about their mental health struggles and the racism that they experience and all struggles that they experience? How important is that?
I would say it's as important as drinking water. It's something that we have to do. It's Eastland life. We, again, in mental health, we call it processing. We have to process what we endure and the things that we're challenged with so that we can get it off of our chest, so we can get it out of our brain, so that we can, just put it out there for someone else to hear it. You can start out processing or sharing these types of challenging situations with a friend or a family member, or even maybe a coworker who looks the same, who you can trust, of course. And if you find that, or if they find that they're not sleeping well, they have changes in their mental disposition, they feel differently, they're sad, then I would say it's essential for them to seek guidance or that processing with a mental health professional, with someone who's trained and certified to help them process those things. So, talking about your struggles and your challenges and not keeping that inside is essential as drinking water, my opinion.
How do you think social media influences men's mental health positively and or negatively? Because, and the reason I want to dive into that is I was reading something recently that younger boys, men, are less likely to open up and talk to their peers than even older generations. So it almost seems like we're moving in the wrong direction. And I'm wondering if social media plays into that in any way.
Yes, I'm pretty sure social media plays into influencing younger men and not wanting to share. I think social media has created an environment of bullying and for oversharing. And so you have to be careful who you process with or who you share your challenges with, because if it's someone who'll do something like record a conversation unbeknownst to you, um, share something in a post that was meant to be confidential, or, whether it be a conversation or a picture, these are the things that prevent people from wanting to be vulnerable and open and honest. And although social media can be a great way to keep in touch with friends and to see what folks are doing, it's also been proven to be a source of despair. Social media has been proven to be a factor in anxiety disorders, and depressive disorders. And sometimes social media itself can be a conduit in exacerbating a person who suffers from things like psychosis or schizophrenia. It can also be a factor in exacerbating that condition. So social media, it's not all good and it's not all bad, but people have to find a way to manage and to be able to step away when things get uncomfortable and become unnerving for them.
Yeah. How does substance abuse or addiction intersect with mental health issues as we see increasing legalization of marijuana as one substance? What do we see? What impact do we see on men's mental health?
Well, a lot of men, because they don't feel safe admitting that they're having a mental health challenge and seeking treatment, whether it be psychotherapy or medication, a lot of them will turn to substances to self-medicate. So that substance could be alcohol. Unfortunately, in some cases, it cases, it could be heroin and or cocaine. Cannabis or marijuana is also a substance that folks will turn to because it helps them to feel like they're relaxing. It helps resolve that moment of angst or nervousness. So, substance abuse is a lot more likely amongst men because of them self-medicating because they prefer to do that instead of seeking help with a mental health professional. So it's definitely a factor in their pathology of mental illnesses and mental health disorders.
Yeah. I imagine the stigma of seeking help, but also the stigma of taking medication, taking antidepressants. I think a lot of people just don't want to take that little pill. Right.
Yeah, and I understand it in some cases because if you are unfortunate to be treated when you seek help the first time around, if you're unfortunate to get a psychiatrist or a another type of psychiatric prescriber, because there's nurse practitioners now too who train for 2 years to be able to prescribe psychiatric medications, or it might be a family practice physician or an internal medicine doctor. If you're unfortunate to get a prescriber in the beginning of your journey who is not savvy in prescribing, meaning they may do things like start you on a high dose of a medication as opposed to starting you on a very low dose and being conservative. If they only know how to prescribe sedatives or benzodiazepines, those are things like Xanax and Ativan and Klonopin, which I notice some of my colleagues in the community, that's the only thing they know how to prescribe. One reason is that patients typically don't refuse Ativan or Xanax. The other reason is that um, it's those medications are least likely to cause certain side effects that you might encounter with certain other classes of psychiatric medications, and they are will surely help sedate or mm, make someone feel more mellow and at ease. That's pretty much their effect. And so, oftentimes, if someone can't sleep, if they have anxiety, if they have stress, doctors who are not savvy or don't understand the pharmacotherapy of psychiatric medications, they'll reach for those first. And at times, people become they overuse them and that's all they seek for their care, or they may actually meet a psychiatrist or a psychiatric prescriber who does not invest the time in understanding that person's history, piecing together their story, creating a running commentary for the patient so that they can understand them each time they come in for their session and be able to create a treatment plan that is that's effective for the person, that has the least likelihood of causing side effects. So if you're unfortunate to get someone who doesn't ask you questions, who don't spend, at least 50 minutes with you that first session, and they are premature in creating a plan that's not a good fit for you, it can be a huge turnoff for a lot of patients.
So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about some things that we can do that have a positive impact on mental health. Talk about physical health and fitness.
Mhm. Yep. So physical health is not just for our bodies and how we look. Physical health is so important for your mental health as well. Exercise, great studies and research, and just I'm sure most of us from our own personal experience, when you exercise, you know how great you feel after you exercise, whether that's weight training, swimming, running, walking, whatever that may be, getting on your Peloton. So exercise causes brain to release chemicals. We call these feel good chemicals or endorphins. These are things like dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine, and these are the chemicals that are implicated when someone is experiencing low mood, or someone's experiencing sadness, or people are experiencing anxiety like panic attacks and just generalized anxiety. So, physical activity can help us naturally enhance those chemicals that then helps us to regulate our moods better. Not only that, physical activity also helps to regulate our sleep hygiene, helps us to sleep better. Um, so there's just so many benefits of including physical activity other than how you look. It's good at, regulating the blood pressure, keeping your blood sugar down, and also those other mental health benefits that I mentioned.
We do need to take another commercial break, Dr. Thomas. So you are watching Black Health. We will be right back with more with Dr. Delvena Thomas, and we are talking about men's mental health. We'll be right back.
When the last time you had a prostate screening?
I haven't done it.
What about colonoscopy?
I've been thinking about it. I know I have to do it.
Come on, man. We can't wait till something happens. We can't wait for nobody to do it for us. We got to do it ourselves.
Yeah, you're right.
So we got to make it a priority, man.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Full checkup once a year, and make sure you ask the doctors to get a PSA. And important, make sure you get that colonoscopy. You're 50 now, man. You got to get that done. Okay.
History? Yeah, we built that. Pride? We fuel that. And on August 30th, we run that. Two powerhouse HBCUs, Howard Bison, FAMU Rattlers, one legendary showdown under the Miami lights at Hard Rock Stadium. The energy unmatched. The culture undeniable. The vibes straight HBCU. Get your crew. You don't want to miss this. Lock in your seats now at orangeblossomclassic.com.
Miami-Dade is filled with dreams, talent, love. At the Children's Trust, we are dedicated to nurturing the potential of every child and family with hundreds of trust-funded programs. Find a program at thechildrenstrust.org.
I grew up down here in South Florida, so for me, it's a little bit more personal.
For the Mesman & Dover Law Firm, it's about community.
For us, South Florida's our home. You all are our people.
Our family. Our future.
The difference we'll make for you, your loved ones, your kids, matters. Because to us, it's personal.
If you need us, call us 24/7 at 866-954-MORE.
That's 866-954-6673. Demesman and Dover Law Firm, youraccidentattorneys.com.
Are you cleaning the house?
It's time.
What will you do with those?
Dump them?
Oh, no. It's time to detox your home. If you're disposing of home chemicals, hazardous materials, or electronics, collect them in a sturdy box and take them to... Wait, what's that?
It's vintage?
It's coming with us.
Where?
In Miami-Dade, go to one of our home chemical collection centers where friendly staff like Eddie, hey Eddie,
hi,
can help dispose of it for you.
That was easy.
To learn more, go to miamidade.gov/homechemicals.
Get ready to groove at this year's Juneteenth Juke Joint on June 7th at 7:30 p.m. Enjoy live music by the W's, beats by DJ Cardi, visual art, and more. Get your tickets now at archcenter.org.
Help comes in many forms. As a Miami-Dade County bus operator, you can help your community, help those in need, and even help yourself. Operators have the opportunity to earn more than $50,000 a year plus built-in overtime, earn more than 13 paid holidays and vacation days, and take advantage of the tuition reimbursement program. Plus, qualified new drivers will receive a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Become a driving force in our community. Apply now at miamidade.gov/busdriver.
Welcome back. You are watching Black Health. We are talking about men's mental health today, and we are talking about this subject with Dr. Delvena Thomas. Dr. Thomas, what role does spirituality or religion play in one's mental health?
Oh my gosh. Oh, so I would like to answer that personally. For me, it's everything. And I know for a lot of my patients, it is also essential for them. We used to talk a lot, we as in my office would talk a lot about the pieces to the puzzle. So the pieces to the puzzle, having all the pieces to the puzzle, meaning addressing each of these things or these factors in your life is a way to create balance and to try to maintain contentment as much as possible. So that would be physical, which we touched on already, the mental health aspect, as well as the spiritual, emotional aspect. And for folks who may have been raised in the church or have some sort of connection to Christianity or Judaism, whatever your faith may believe, it is overpowering for us to believe in a higher power, to believe that we have someone who all the time has our back, who's always looking out for us, and someone who we can go to at any moment and communicate higher power, that higher being, communicate whatever our stresses are. And you don't have to be super religious to do this. You don't have to be someone who attends church every week. Spirituality is inside of us. Religion and our faith, it's inside of us. So having gratitude and having faith in a better process, or believing that better days are ahead of you, are very important for creating a hopeful spirit. And hopefulness can change the trajectory of so many things that seem almost impossible for us.
So you talked about spirituality, we've talked about physical health. What about mental health in terms of mindfulness, practicing mindfulness or meditation? How do those help?
I love those too. You're asking all the right questions. So
Let me
mindfulness.
give a picture here, a well-rounded picture of what we can do.
Yeah, you're doing a super job. So mindfulness is teaching ourselves patience. It's teaching ourselves to be in the moment. It's teaching ourselves gratitude. So being mindful is being in the moment of whatever it is that you're doing, not thinking about your past, not projecting for your future, not thinking about other things that may be going on in some other space. It helps to, and we know from good studies, once again, that being mindful helps to lower our blood pressure. It helps to lower our heart rate. It helps us to feel more relaxed and to feel better. A quick mindfulness exercise would be to walk outside when it's not raining, to walk outside or maybe when it's raining too. Some people enjoy the rain and enjoy being outside in the rain. So, and just capturing or taking in all of the things that are in your environment, such as the sky, what you hear, what you see. If you're seeing trees, what type of leaves do you see? What are in the trees? What do those birds look like? What's beneath your feet? If you happen to be barefoot, what does that feel like under your feet to you? So mindfulness is something that we should all practice as much as possible, and could be just as basic as having dinner with your family and keeping your mind on dinner with the people who are present in that moment, versus thinking about work and what you didn't do or what you forgot.
Or being on your phone. Or being on your phone. Yeah, thank you. We are at the end of our show. Dr. Delvena Thomas, thank you so much for your time today. You can catch Dr. Thomas on Brain Love Podcast, or you can grab her books on Amazon, Brain Sleep and Brain Food, right? Yes, so check those out. You can follow me on Instagram at Black Health Show. And we look forward to seeing you again on Black Health. Dr. Thomas, thank you so much for joining us. And those of you watching, thank you for so much for joining us. And we will see you next time. Have a great day, everybody.